Well, you did it! You made it through all 10 chapters of our AI security tutorial. That's a huge accomplishment. So now, it's time to pull everything together. Let's jump into this final capstone review.
I mean, just think about where you started, right? You began with that basic question, what even is AI security? And look how far you've come. Now you're thinking about defending against these really complex, next-gen threats. It has been a massive journey. And in this review, we're going to connect all those dots.
You know, throughout this whole series, we've been using this idea of building a secure AI fortress. So it only seems right that for this final review, we take one last tour. Let's walk the perimeter together, check on those walls, and inspect all the watchtowers that you now know exactly how to build.
All right, first up, laying the security foundation. I mean, just like any real fortress, a strong AI defense has to start with some seriously solid groundwork. So, let's rewind a bit to chapters 1 and 2, where you learned all about the core fundamentals and how to do a proper risk assessment.
Right at the beginning, you established this absolutely critical idea. AI security isn't just another layer of cybersecurity. No way. It's a whole new discipline. It's got to deal with these unique threats like data poisoning or adversarial attacks, things that go after the logic of the AI model itself. Your traditional security tools, they just weren't built for that.
And on that foundation, you learn to build up these 4 crucial pillars. You remember them, right? Confidentiality, integrity, availability, and accountability. Think of these as the main support columns for everything else you built. They're what make your AI systems not just strong, but genuinely trustworthy.
Then in Chapter 2, we got really practical. You moved from just theory to actually scoring and prioritizing threats. It's like a guard on a fortress wall isn't going to treat a storm cloud on the horizon the same as a battering ram at the front gate, right? Well, you learned how to make that same call, how to focus your defenses on what matters most right now.
Okay, so with the foundation poured, it was time to build. Section 2 was all about constructing your core defenses. Chapters 3, 4, and 5. This is where we put up the walls, the gates, and the watchtowers of our fortress. Let's take a look.
Chapter 3 really drilled down on a simple truth. Your AI is only as good as its data. So if you want to secure the AI, you have to secure the data. We're talking about the entire life cycle here, from the second it's collected to the moment it's securely deleted. It's exactly like guarding the quarry where you get the stones, the roads you use to transport them, and every single block used in your fortress walls.
And in Chapter 4, you learned a key rule of fortress management. Not everyone needs a key to every single room. This is where role-based access control, or RBAC, came in. You learned how to give everyone, from your data scientists to your end users, the exact permissions they need to do their job, and absolutely nothing more. It's all about giving the right keys to the right people.
Chapter 5 took us right into the heart of the fortress, the AI model itself. And here, you learned to defend against 2 totally different kinds of attacks. First, you have adversarial attacks, which are all about tricking the model from the outside. And then you have model poisoning, which is a much sneakier inside job, corrupting the model by messing with its training data.
All right, next up, securing daily operations. Because let's be honest, you don't just build a fortress and walk away, right? It needs to be guarded 24/7. And that's what chapters 6 through 8 were all about, that constant vigilance. We're talking monitoring, incident response, and the governance that holds it all together. So, in Chapter 6, you learned how to stop talking in vague terms and start using real numbers. You learned to set hard metrics, like, say, an acceptable model accuracy drift of less than 2%. That number becomes your tripwire. If accuracy dips below that, the alarms go off.
And it wasn't just about accuracy, was it? You also learned to set performance goals, like a super fast response time of under 100 milliseconds. This makes sure your fortress isn't just secure, it's also fast and ready for action.
So, what do you do when one of those alarms actually goes off? Well, Chapter 7 was all about avoiding panic and having a solid plan. You mastered this 6-step incident response workflow. This is your battle plan. It's a clear, repeatable process that takes you all the way from the initial alert to full recovery. And most importantly, helps you learn from what happened so you're stronger next time.
And then, in Chapter 8, you laid down the law of the land for your fortress. This is where you built your governance structure. Think of it as a system of checks and balances, bringing in teams from security, data, legal, the whole shebang. This is how you make sure your AI is always being used responsibly and ethically.
Okay, on to our final section, implementation and future-proofing. In the last 2 chapters, 9 and 10, we started looking toward the future.
It was all about how to actually implement this stuff in the real world. And, this is so important, how to make sure your fortress can handle not just today's attacks, but whatever's coming next.
You learned in Chapter 9 that, hey, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is your AI fortress. You got this really practical phase strategy, a roadmap for building up your defenses over time. You start with the foundation, then you build, you optimize, and finally, you scale those defenses across your whole organization. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
And of course, the threat landscape never, ever stands still. So, Chapter 10 was about getting you ready to look over the horizon. You learned that security isn't a one-and-done project. It's a constant process of adapting. It's about being ready for what's coming next, whether that's the wild world of quantum computing or the next wave of AI regulations.
So, what's next? You have the complete blueprint now. We've walked through every single part of the AI security fortress. But here's the thing. The final, and honestly the most critical step, is taking this blueprint and making it work in the real, unique world of your organization.
And that brings us to a really important point. This tutorial from Virtualization Options LLC, it's designed to give general guidance for a typical organization. But the reality is, every single organization is different and really needs training that's tailored to its specific needs. That kind of specialized training is what addresses the actual tools and processes you use, helping you reduce risks while still hitting your productivity goals. So please keep in mind that the guidance we've provided here might not be directly applicable to your specific situation, and it's offered without any warranty either expressed or implied. And that's exactly why we believe in developing customized training, but only after collaborating closely with an organization to really dig in and understand its unique needs and priorities.
So if you're ready to take that next step to turn this general blueprint into a real fortress built for your specific terrain, you can reach out directly to Bob Slovic. He's the Chief Technologist at Virtualization Options LLC, and he's the person to talk to about developing that kind of customized training plan.
So that's it. You've completed the tutorial, you've reviewed the entire plan, you have the knowledge. The only question left is for you. Now that you have the blueprint, what's the very first stone you're going to lay to secure your organization's AI?